Okay. Thank you all for coming. I would love to have seen your storylines that you had written half of at halftime. Um, really, first of all, I just got to say this. I've been doing this a long time, and I just want to thank God the Father and His Son Jesus because I've never been a part of anything like that before. And again, I've been doing it forever. I'm so proud of our players. I mean, they're really learning how to fight. They have so much character. Mike Hill and I were talking in the locker room afterwards, and the character piece, I think, just kept coming. Look, when you're down 20-3 and not playing well, there's a lot of, times that possibly teams would pack that in, but not these guys. And, really proud of them, proud of the coaches. They hung in there. The staff, I'm so thankful to be in this seat, and I love these kids. And I told them after the game, and I told them before the game, I've been telling them for weeks, they're tough guys, and so good to coach tough guys. Some great stuff happened. This is the second largest comeback in school history. It's the largest since we've been an FBS team. Trexler Ivey came off the bench and I think was like 11 for 12 or something like that. Just totally lit it up for 3 touchdowns. And there's a kid, and number 8 on offense, Sean Brown, made some catches that you see that are like NFL catches, and 3 in particular. Our defense, we put them in such a tough spot in the first half because, we made a few errors, and they are so resilient. They came out and played so well. Ali had huge plays on defense. Reed had huge plays on defense, but so did a lot of guys. Damon Clowney made some unbelievable plays, and we just kept fighting. And it was super sweet. So I'll answer questions now.
Coach, a couple of weeks ago, you said this team hadn't learned.
Can you speak up a little? I'm a little hard to hear.
A couple of weeks ago, you said this team hadn't learned how to win yet. After a game like this, coming back how you did in this fashion, do you think that changed?
Yeah, that's passing the test of learning how to win, right? We would have never won that game last year. And it's what Mike and I were talking about in the locker room, is character. We really spent a lot of time recruiting character, and these kids just don't give up. They are so competitive and so tough. And, you look from week 1 to 2 to 3, we're putting things together for what our goal is our first league game. So very proud of them.
You kind of already alluded to it. I mean, you didn't wake up this morning thinking you were going to spot them 17 points and then come back and win. When you find yourself down 17, what was the message to get the guys rallied to instill in them that they could win this game?
Well, Coach Wilkes beat me to it because I was doing halftime media with Bobby. And when I walked in, Coach Wilkes was in the defensive meeting room with the defensive staff and coaches. And there was lightning bolts coming out of his eyes and fire out of his mouth. And then he went in and did it with the offense. And then and basically the message was, you're better than us. We believe in you. This game's not over. And then going out, I actually stood up on a chair at the doors, which the kids helped me get on because I could have broken my neck. It had wheels on it. That's wasn't very smart. But I told them very enthusiastically, if you don't think we can win this game, don't go through these doors. And there wasn't a dude that batted an eye. And so I'm very proud of him.
Let's talk about Deshaun. Obviously, he exits the game in the third. Trexler comes in. It seemed like the offense just clicked immediately. What changed with number 11 in the game?
Well, I want to say a few things about Deshaun. Deshaun's a very special kid, a wonderful kid, wonderful family. Deshaun could have gone a lot of places, and he wanted to come to Charlotte because he wanted to help us build something special here, and he will. And I said all week long, and you all know this, it's harder to be the starter than it is to come out of the bullpen, right? And we expected some bumps. We honestly didn't expect, what happened today. but he's a supreme talent. And I said to Bobby, if any of our fans do not see that, and if they take that kid over the coals, then I have one rule: they got to come into my office and do it in front of me, because I'll have a stack full of bail money to get me out. Do not ride that kid. He made some unbelievable throws. It just all moved a little too fast for him today, Hunter. And they gave us a lot of looks. They blitzed a lot of different blitz packages that they hadn't shown. And they gave us a lot of different coverages that they hadn't played, knowing they're playing against a freshman quarterback, right? So I think, and he's a competitor. After he got hurt, I went over, sat next to him on the bench to see what was going on and kind of console him. And he grabbed me by the knee and he said, "Coach, I'm so sorry." And I said, "For what?" "For being a complete warrior and a stud that we can start you as a freshman, and this game isn't over." And that's the kind of kid he is.
You guys talk a lot about Trexler's ability, no matter where he is on the depth chart, to be a leader. What did he show you in the second half today?
His kid is so. You look at Sean Brown, you look at Hassan Wilson, you look at Trexler Ivey. All guys that walked on here. Sean Brown made 3 catches that are NFL catches. Trexler Ivey, I mean, he's third on the depth chart now. He went from being a starter last year to third. And when Purdy went down, I went over to him and I said, "Here we are again. You're the fireman. Put this thing out." And he looked at me and goes, "I got you, Coach. No problems." And there were some holes in their defense, right? They did some things. They gambled and did some things where they were doing them all day. Again, freshmen had a little trouble picking them up, but there were big holes. And an experienced player like Trexler, he came in and I think it was 11 for 12 or 12 for 13 or something like that, and just tore them up. 3 touchdowns. And when did Purdy go out? What time in the third did he go out? Anybody remember? How much? So this kid comes in a quarter and 2 minutes and leads us to 3 touchdown drives, right? So that's a pretty special kid, and I'm so happy for him, and the team is so happy for him too.
Coach, did you think any at all about swapping Trexler in after the half?
No. I don't want to crush a young player, talented young player.
Well, the way things were going in the first half, I almost expected you to just lose it on the sideline, but you just kept pacing, kept talking to your coaches. How do you keep it in?
Well, I'm going to tell you because I want to know how many miles I walked today. I'm not kidding you, because I was just trying to be 10 miles. Just trying to be enthusiastic with the kids because they feed off of us. And I mean, look, I want to tell you, I was at some point in the second quarter there, I was like, I just cannot believe this. We're so much better than this. But when I looked at their eyes, they had no quit in them. And so I believe in them. I tell them I love coaching this team, and I do. I love coaching the team. More importantly, I love these kids. I really do. Win, lose, or draw.
You mentioned how there were a lot of gaps that Trexler was able to kind of find in the defense. Well, on the flip side, the defense for Charlotte, for you guys, it seemed like you guys just caught a wave and was able to ride that wave for the rest of the game. What do you think the switch happened on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, our defense is really good. And, the way we play is we're very aggressive. Oz is very aggressive. He dials up a bunch of stuff. He trusts the guys in the back. And you see it in the NFL. I mean, when you play that way, you're going to give up some plays. And when you play that way and the offense gives up a touchdown and then puts the ball on the ground and, plus field position, it's hard to bow your backs, but they did. I thought their second half was the best half they've played, and it was excellent.
Biff, I know you're not on social media at halftime, but it wasn't looking pretty from a lot of fans in Niner Nation. What kind of a statement do you hope this kind of win makes to the fan base about the resilience of this team and kind of, like you said, just the never quit attitude?
Well, you probably should have gotten all your money's worth by staying for the whole game. And for those that weren't here that were saying whatever they were saying on social media, just grow up. Grow up. Get out of your grandmother's basement and grow up.
Is Trexler your quarterback moving forward?
Excuse me?
Trexler your quarterback moving forward?
Well, we have to see the injuries, right, with Purdy. And if Purdy's healthy, we'll go with Purdy. And Trexler has a role as a reliever. But we don't want to, again, we've got an exceptional young talent. And we're going to ride with him until our starter, Max, comes back. And then when Max comes back, I don't believe you lose your job because of an injury. So Max will be the starter when he comes back, and Purdy will have had a bunch of good experience, and then we'll just keep rolling. I think you do find one thing, though, as you see how valuable a guy like Max Brown is, right? An older guy. It just makes all the difference in the world.
Expecting, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yes, because we were going to do the same thing if we were in that situation. And we went for 2 twice. So, but yeah, Coach Reisert made the right move. I mean, on the road, got to go for 2. And we made a great play on defense.
Ali, you guys have been, turnover hungry all year. That's been kind of one of these plans of being aggressive. When it starts to work out this way and you're starting to force these turnovers, what does that do for a defense?
It gives us a lot of momentum. This is football is a momentum game. So as you seen, like how that last half went, we just start building momentum. So, we knew that we needed to make a big play. Coach Oz, he continued to tell us like we need a play like this here, like we need it now. So that's what we went and did, and then we rolled with it.
Came in here and said he looked at Trexler and said, "Here we go again." It kind of felt like the game kind of rested on your shoulders at a certain point to make those certain stops, and you guys relished that opportunity to do those. Can you just talk about what it's like to be in those situations and how much you guys kind of thrive off of having that pressure on you guys to make the play and coming out on top?
I feel like from the beginning, Coach Oz has let us know that like it's gonna rely on us on most of the time, on most of the occasions, and so we knew from coming in that we had to stay through it throughout the whole game and stay confident and do what we usually do, and so and it's just about trust in the offense and trust in Trexler and seeing what he's done. Coming off the bench before and last year, there's nothing that we weren't confident about, and so we just kept doing our thing. Really.
Right, like you said, we prepared for the moment. We practiced those moments. You say pressure, but I don't think we didn't feel no pressure. It's just let's get the win. That's what we want. We want to be out there. We want to get us the win. So. Yeah, it wasn't no pressure. We just, we did what we practiced to do, what we was prepared to do.
Talk about what you saw on that last interception.
I seen him staring at the receiver. I knew I had to get over there. So, I wasn't sure if he was going to throw it, but I was just leaning that way. So when he threw it, I was looking like he really threw it. I thought he seen me leaning over there, but, I had to make a play. And, so that's what I saw.
You guys obviously don't have a lot of control of what happens on offense. You can kind of just control what you guys do. But once the offense starts to roll, what does that do for a defense?
It gives us the utmost confidence. I feel like he was saying earlier, momentum. Momentum just breeds confidence. And if offense is rolling, then we got to know that we got to step up and do our thing. And once that was happening, it was just easy enough for us to do the same thing that we do.
For both of you guys, when you talk about Coach Footer, you said Steve Wilkes was talking to you guys at the half. What was that message from, Steve, and then, overall message at the half?
He lit a fire under us. I ain't gonna say everything he said, but he let it be known like that this isn't the standard what we were doing, and we knew that. So like Coach Biff said, like, ain't none of us going to halftime thinking, like, head down, like, we just knew we weren't doing our job. Like, we knew we weren't playing how we were supposed to be playing. So, you know, Coach Wilkes, he came in there, he lit a fire under us. He told us what we needed to hear, and that's why we went out there and got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, we like you said, we knew what we had to do and what went wrong, but you know, Wilkes lit the spark, or whatever you call it, and so we knew what we had to do, and so we just continued to do that in the second half.
Question for both of you guys. They have 17 points at half. They finished with, what, 26? Do you guys feel like at some point you figured them out or something changed where you said, okay, now we're getting the pressure every time. Now we're able to sit back and, like you said, he's staring down the receivers. Did something click for you guys on defense that allowed there to be a shift?
We just started doing our job. In the first half, there's a bunch of plays that we should have made that we didn't, and then it led to big plays or led to the drive extending. So, you know, it just all came down to executing our jobs. It wasn't nothing, they didn't hit us with anything that we wasn't prepared for in the first half. It just was simply, we look at the film, one person didn't do his job. So, you know, again, like we went into halftime, Coach Wilkes said what he said, and it just got everybody, and a couple other players, even though they had something to say as well. So it just got everybody on the same mindset, like, man, we all just got to do our job. We all do our job. We knew we was coming back with a win.
Sideline reaction when Sean Brown had that one-handed touchdown catch.
Man, that was crazy. I didn't even know he caught it at first. I wasn't sure. That was crazy. He was electric though. You seen what it was. That's why you asked it. You knew we was turned. We was turned on the sideline. That was Coach Biff said, that was a NFL type catch. But that's the type of catches he make in practice. So it wasn't like surprise, but it just was, you know, in the moment. It was, you know, we needed that right there. So yeah.
Replace fan, his catch, your interception, Hassan, 39-yard touchdown.
So momentum game, I told you.
I mean, I would say, you know, being a walk-on teaches you just how to respond to moments like that. The walk-on, you know, life, you're never really in the spotlight. You're always working. You're always working for someone else, you know, scout team, whatever it may be. But, you know, I respect all the walk-ons here, and those that aren't, I mean, we're all just one happy team right now. I mean, walk-on scholarship, but yeah, it does help, you know, prepare you for those tough moments.
Yeah, I just say it prepares you for life, really. It's similar to that, so it was nice. So me, Hassan, and Trex are all walk-ons. We've been here the past 3 years, so it's good to have that game. We needed that.
Off that question for Sean, we talked to Chris on Tuesday, and he talked about how he was thrown with you at practice once, or just like a throw around, and he said, oh, this guy's crazy, and he's trying to out-throw you, and he wasn't able to out-throw you. He told, you know, his coaches, hey, we got to add this guy. Can you just talk about that moment and then your journey that leads you to have the biggest game of your career and, you know, have like the coach said, NFL catches?
Man, I love Chris. Chris has really got me here. He gave me the opportunity, stuck his neck out for me. I just want to get him that bowl game win, or just one of those before he got out of here. So I always felt bad about that, but that guy is a real friend and supporter. So I just saw him outside, and we had a big hug. So it's good doing that. I don't really remember. I'll be honest. I knew Trex was gonna throw it. We've been doing this for a while, but
Scout team.
he was mugging me, so I was like, I'm gonna get the flag anyways. Might as well get it and one.
Trexler, what is that experience like when you see Deshaun go down? You never want to see a teammate go down, but what's going through your head in that moment when he goes down and you're up?
Yeah, you know, thankfully last year I had a good amount of those moments where, you know, I was like, all right, like it's time to go. So it wasn't the first time, but you know, whoever's out there, me and the rest of the quarterback room, going to support him, you know, fully. But you know, you see him go down and it's like a click. It's like, all right, like let's go, dude. Like, you know, do your job, lead the team. You know, that's just kind of things that are going through my head.
Trexler, coach came up here and said that there were some big gaps or holes in their defense, and Purdy wasn't able to kind of see them, true freshman. What did you see? What were those holes on defense that you were able to exploit?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like all week, really the past 2 weeks, Coach Miller's just talking about, like, man, it's just football. Like, stop overcomplicating it, stop overthinking it. Like, yeah, there's holes in the defense, but like, you know, you just see that just by playing naturally. And yeah, I mean, Purdy, like, I mean, that kid's got a really high ceiling. That kid's a really good player right now. You know, I love him. I love Max. All the guys in our room, but yeah.
Trex, for you, obviously coming to the huddle, you're trailing by 14, 3 straight touchdown drives. So for you, Trex, what are you saying to your team? And for Sean, what changes when number 11 comes into the huddle?
Could you repeat that one more time?
What are you telling your team as you come into the game? You replace Sean trailing by 14.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing was, you know, make these guys believe, you know, like, when they look at you in the eye, make sure they know, you know, they got a leader and a guy that's going to go in there and lead the team with some swagger. And because if I walk in that huddle and I just kind of, you know, I don't look, you know, like I'm ready, like, I mean, we're starting behind the 8 ball already. So, but yeah, I mean, and I got great players around me everywhere, running backs, tight ends, receivers, O-line, so trust everybody.
Trex has always been prepared for this. I don't want to say like I called it, but I've always seen him like take that leadership role, even though he's a third string, he can easily kind of say screw it, just give up. But he always had that leader. He's breaking it down, even though when he didn't know he was going to go in, like he's still taking that leader role. I just know he's cool, calm, collected. And honestly, just being at Charlotte, how many times like as a quarterback gone Chris Reynolds to Bug Foster to Xavier Williams, like we're used to it as a receiver group. We can play with anyone, and don't let it screw up your game. Just play ball.
Good point with you where it's kind of like put some respect on my name. You've had a couple of these moments now.
There was a few moments out there tonight where I was screaming what they gonna say now, but you know, that's just heat of the moment. At the end of the day, it's all about the team. Whatever's best for the team, all that matters is we won.
Trexler, I heard you use the word love twice with your quarterback teammates. Coach said he loved you guys. I know Biff has a reputation for being okay talking about relationships. Is that something that has changed in the way you guys talk to each other, about each other since he got here?
Me and Coach Biff? Yeah, you know, Coach Biff is one of the most honest men I probably will ever meet in my life, and it's a great thing. He's going to give it to you straight. He tells our whole team exactly what we need to hear. He tells me what I need to hear if I'm doing well, if I'm not doing well. But yeah, Biff, at the end of the day, he only gets on you so much because he loves you, because he loves his team. So, I mean, that's all that matters. Biff has done a great job building his team and meshing a bunch of guys from 100 different backgrounds to come in and love each other. And, you know, I think we made a step in the right direction tonight.
You all are allowed to call him by his first name?
Coach Biff? Yeah, he doesn't like being called Coach Pody. Coach Biff.
You guys, 2 tough games to start the year, 3 tough quarters tonight. How good does it feel to just have a win?
I'll sleep good tonight.
Yeah, coming in tomorrow will feel a little bit better than it
excited to run
than it has.
whatever we do. I'm excited for it. Excited to come back in.
Yeah, excited to get back to work.
A chance to watch you in high school down the road at tomorrow. How much fun is it to ball out this close to home?
It's a good feeling. Plain and simple, good feeling.
I think Coach Carter would say about your performance tonight.
Sean, what are you doing? Love you, Coach Carter. He's a great guy. I love that guy. And he talks like that.
Anything else? Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.